Okay, how many people have the booklet flyers that came in your little gift bags there?
Yeah.
How many people actually looked for me in that?
Yeah.
And what did you find?
Nada.
Nothing. No bio, no photo, no panel, no time, nothing. They had me on one of the apps. Yes, the app with the S on it, I think. But the LeakyCon app, which was last year and this year, I think I don't exist. I'm on there? All right. Not for this one.
This one doesn't load.
That's probably
All right. When they ask you, the Q&A questionnaires, what did you like, what didn't you like, what could we do better? Love Snape. LeakyCon could love Snape better. All right. I could stand behind the I could just stand here. Here's fine. All right.
You want a chair?
No, I don't want a chair. At the risk of having you miss like 20 to 40 photos, is there any way that a Mountain Dew could happen?
A Mountain Dew can happen.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm about to die.
All right.
Can you get up?
We
That's
can't have that. No, we've been through that before. We don't need any more trauma. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Well, I was
Thanks.
coming for that.
Day one of the con, I showed up, I didn't eat or drink properly, and I might have gotten a pinch cranky. Just a little bit. I said things like, I will kill you. Move out of my way. I want a picture. I will kill you.
You're accurate.
Thank you. Earlier today, I was down by the Dragon Cafe. Did anybody eat in the Dragon Cafe this weekend? Good, good. Did you have the burger or the chicken?
Chicken.
How was the burger? I heard the chicken was much better. I don't want to talk to you, ma'am. You non-meat-eating person. Oh, good, okay. Okay, good. Let's clear this up. Lee and Mosium. Because Snape is smart. Because I go to a school. I will take photos after this, I really will. I've never said no flash photography, and I'm not going to do it now with all
8 of us.
I was going to say 12, but thanks for making me feel worse. I can even double the numbers in here.
That's too many numbers anyway.
No, I do not want the peeves to leave. Peeve 1 and peeve 2. Oh my God, you should do that. You know the thing 1 and thing 2 shirts? You should get peeve 1 and peeve 2.
they have pins.
I know you got peeve 2.0, I know, but I'm saying to do the Dr. Seuss thing. Work with me here, peeves.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Pretend to cooperate with me for like 8 seconds.
Are you the bloody Baron?
No.
No!
Hey, if nothing else, I've talked, she's talked, and we all laughed, and we love and don't love each other. All right, let's see. I read Beetle the Bard earlier. I didn't read all the stories. I can read a Beetle the Bard, or you can ask me questions, or we can do both, or that's really your only options. Or we can order a pizza. We can change this to like pizza with Snape. You know, if somebody has a phone and an app and wants to put it in order, I'm not paying. But I would not be against that. I'll put that on the roster for next year. Huh? I am. Would you like to know what I'm wearing? That's one of my favorite questions. So you go into the ball. What are you going to wear? What's your formal outfit look like? I said this earlier, I'm going to say this again. 7 books, 8 movies, 1 outfit. Thank you. It makes it for those of you who are too young to remember, but there was a cartoon. Yes, the buttons is because that's part of the outfit. See, it's in the movie. Therefore, it's here. Don't ruin the illusion for the kids. Let's just pretend that I really am Snape. Because I am Snape. I said this at another con once, but if I whisper in the microphone, they can still hear me. Somebody commented at the last panel, they're like, everybody was making this ruckus and the room was 2/3 full, and you went, silence! Everything just stopped. Like, how do you do that? It's like, because I'm Snape. It's the only place in the world where I can do that. I walked by the Dragon Cafe earlier and some people had cotton candy ice cream cones and I walked by. And the one friend looked at her other friend and they're like, Snape just stole your ice cream. The other person went, well, what do I do? It was delicious. If you haven't had it, it's good. It's even better when you steal it.
Of course.
Stealing is wrong, don't do that. Is what I would say if I was a Hufflepuff. Which clearly I am not. Sorry, you're a Hufflepuff. All right, yes. I can read one if you'd like. Do you want to hear me read a story? Which one do you want to hear me read? I don't want to scare him. Which one? The Hopping Pod? I will gladly read the Hopping Pod for you. I have one actually. Now, I don't want to scare the small child. Do we have another child that will help volunteer? Because the Hopping Pot needs a volunteer. Oh, look at that.
That was
It's okay, don't. It's okay. Peeves 2.0.
Yeah, Wolfgang.
You were here earlier, right? You weren't. You were. You remember Beth, right? Yeah. That's what you're gonna do. Can you go sit up in the chair? Everybody, a small round of applause for Peeves 2.0. I said a small round of applause. Thank you for that smattering. You saw what you did earlier? You're, how old are you, Peeves 2.0? 12. You're the same age as the girl Beth.
She was 13.
I expect you to be just as good as she was. She was 13?
Yeah.
She was 13. That's almost as good as a 13-year-old girl. Good job. All right, I'm now going to read the Hopping Pod for all of you. With help by Peeves.
2.0.
2.0. The Wizard and the Hopping Pot. Thank you, Carol Oster. There once was a kindly old wizard who used his magic generously and wisely for the benefit of his neighbors. Rather than reveal the true source of his power, he pretended that all of his potions and antidotes sprang ready-made from a little cauldron he called his lucky cooking pot. From miles around, people came to him with their troubles, and the wizard was pleased to give his little pot a stir and put things right. This well-beloved wizard lived to a goodly age, then died, leaving behind all of his goods to his only son. But the son was different than his gentle father. Those who could not do magic were, in his mind, worthless. He had often quarreled with his father for dispensing magical aid to their neighbors. Upon the father's death, the son found hidden inside the old cooking pot a small package bearing his name. He opened it hoping for gold, but he found instead a soft, thick slipper too small to wear and with no matching pair. A fragment of parchment within the slipper said these words, "In the fond hope, my son, that you will never need it." The son cursed his father's age-softened mind and threw the slipper back in the cauldron and decided to use it henceforth as a rubbish pail, which is English for garbage can, for those of you Muggle-born Americans. That very night, a peasant woman knocked on the front door. "My granddaughter's afflicted by a crop of warts, sir," the woman told him. "Your father used a magical potion in that old cooking pot." "Begone!" cried the man. "What do I care for your brat's warts?" And he slammed the door in the old woman's face. At once there came a loud clanging and banging from his kitchen. The wizard went and opened the door, and there, to his amazement, he saw his father's old cooking pot. It had sprouted a single foot of brass and it was hopping on the spot in the middle of the floor, making a fearful noise. Fantastic. The wizard approached it in wonder, but he fell back hurriedly when he saw that the whole pot's surface was covered in warts. You're brilliant. Your parents must be so proud. Disgusting, he cried, and he tried to vanish the pot and then to clean it by magic and finally to force it out of the house, but none of his spells worked. And he was unable to prevent the pot from hopping up after him, following him up the bed, clanging and banging very loudly the whole way. The wizard could not sleep all night for the banging of the warty old pot by his bedside, and the next morning the pot insisted on hopping after him to the breakfast table. Clang, clang, clang went the brass-footed pot. And the wizard had not even started his porridge when there came another knock on the door. This is so lifelike. An old man stood on the doorstep. "'Tis my doggie, sir. Lost she is, and without her I cannot take my wares to market, and my family will go hungry." "I'm hungry now," roared the wizard, and slammed the door on the old man. Clang, clang, clang went the cooking pot. But now the clamor was mixed of brays of a donkey and groans of human hunger echoing from the depths of the pot. You sound so hungry. "Be still, be silent," shrieked the wizard, but not all of his magical powers could quiet the pot, which hopped on its heels all day, braying and groaning and clanging, no matter what he did or where he went. Then evening came, and there was a third knock on the door. When he opened the door, there stood a young woman sobbing as though her heart would break. "My baby is grievously ill," she said. "Won't you please help us? Your father told me that if I ever needed..." The wizard slammed the door on her. Now the tormenting pot filled to the brim with salt water, slopped tears all over the floor as it hopped and brayed and groaned and sprouted even more warts. Though no more villagers came to seek out the wizard's cottage for help, the pot kept him informed of all of their ills. Within a few days, it was not only braying and groaning and slopping and hopping and sprouting warts, it was also choking and retching, crying like a baby, whining like a dog, spewing out bad cheese, sour milk, and a plague of hungry slugs. 10 points to Ravenclaw for acting skill. Good job. The wizard could not sleep or eat with the pot beside it, but the pot refused to leave. At last, the wizard could bear it no more. "Bring me all of your problems, troubles, and woes," he screamed, running out into the night with a pot hopping behind him. "Come, let me cure you, mend you, and comfort you. I have my father's cooking pot. I will make you well." And with that, the foul pot still ran along behind him up the streets as he cast spells in every direction. Inside one house, the little girl's warts vanished. The lost donkey was summoned from a distant briar patch and came back. A sick baby was doused in dittany and woke, well and rosy. At every house of sickness and sorrow, the wizard did his best, and gradually the cooking pot beside him stopped groaning and retching and became shiny, quiet, and clean. "Well, pot," said the trembling wizard as the sun began to rise and the pot burped out a single slipper.
You can burp.
I expected a better burp from Peeves 2.0.
Oh, believe me, he does it at home all the time.
And the pot burped. A single slipper. He permitted the wizard to put it under the brass foot, and together they set back off to the wizard's house. The pot's footsteps muffled, but from that day forward, the wizard helped every villager, like his father before him, lest the pot cast off its slipper and begin to hop once more. The end. Now, normally I have you bow and I have you stand, and you saw what I did to Beth earlier, so you're not going to fall for that, right? Because you're clever, right? You don't know. You are the most unclever Ravenclaw I've ever met. I'm not going to embarrass you, because I've met your mother. Good job, everybody. The rest of this will be just Q&A stuff, so whatever you want to do. Okay. I have to take a drink of a Pepsi product. If you take photographs of this, you have to Photoshop Coca-Cola labels over this, or else I will kill you where you stand, live, die, drink, whatever.
Kill you where you die?
I will kill you when you die. A truer phrase has never been spoken. Where did he kill him? He killed him where he died. Thank you. You kill zombies?
I do.
Yeah?
In the face.
In the face.
Double tap.
All right. If anybody asks, that was a Coca-Cola product, and we just ran out of clean cups, so we had to use a Pepsi cup.
Yeah.
All right. For those of you who were here earlier, you saw how this went. Basically, you ask questions and I answer them, and I, as respectful as I can be. So, who has a question for Snape? Okay, you here in the front row. I will get to everybody because there's like 1/3 of the audience earlier.
After all this time?
It's too soon. It's just too soon. It's too soon.
Always. And I say this in every group. We open up the questions and I'm like, let's shut off the ones that make everybody cry first. Okay, somebody over here had a question? Yes.
Since you were in the same house and almost in the same year, what was your opinion of Regulus Black, and do you think he was a better seeker than James?
What was my opinion of Regulus Black, and do I think he was a better seeker than James?
Yes.
That's a good question. Always. When in doubt, just give out random lines. 394. Next. Everybody loves it. Do I think he was a better seeker than James? Yes, I do. And just to make this girl happy, obviously. I was neither here nor there with Regulus Black. I was neither for nor against. It was very easy to have an opinion that was neither 100% good or 100% bad. You see where I'm going with this? Okay, thank you. Next. Yes.
Do you have two wands, one for the order, one for the dark art stuff, so you don't get caught if they try to do that memory wand spell?
One, I never get caught. That's what makes it, that's why I succeed. This discussion came up earlier, and it's been talked about with a few wand people. I know that if you attended the wand lore seminar, that was one of the things that the Hungarian wand shop owner suggested. Him and I have spoken about this, and as a wand crafter, of course, he tends to lean on the yes, you had more than one wand or you had two wands, and as Snape, I'm going to say no. And I'll tell you why. I have one true self, which I keep amazingly hidden from everyone, and my wand is right there with me. One true self, completely hidden. Next. Okay, we're going to go, regrettably, to Peeves.
I have a legitimate question.
Oh, well, thank you.
What kind of organizations and clubs did you belong into while you were in Hogwarts? You like the Glee Club or anything like that?
Well, that's a fine question. Did I have any after-school activities that I belonged to when I was and yeah, I found it difficult to make friends. It's okay. I'd say I got better, but I didn't. I found it difficult to make friends, and I was accepted into a sort of club, as if you will, which seemed like a really good idea at the time. It had the word eaters in it. I thought there would be cake.
The cake's alive.
The cake was a lie. Now, to expand, can I expand on this, Peeves? Are you busy having a separate conversation?
I didn't understand the cake thing. My son.
Peeves 2.0 has to explain this to you. Okay, I understand.
I'm not a Harry Potter fan.
Okay.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah, it's not a Harry Potter connection. It's from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And just kidding. A lot of people, when they say, well, you know, what happened and why did you have a change and what happened? Well, a lot of people join organizations because they think this is great and I belong to something and they're powerful. And I truly did seek power and I wanted to wield it like a, you know, but unfortunately, they went kind of a different direction than I wanted them to go. So eventually I had to change my actual allegiance or alliance. Not that they knew that. Clever.
If you have to tell people, if you have to tell people,
then they're too stupid to realize. See how that goes? Yes, you.
How do you feel about Joe Moses' portrayal of you?
Joe Moses' portrayal of me. Is that the reason there's like 12 of you here and not 500 of you here?
Exactly.
Well, then obviously I can't stand him. He has played with my fandom, and I will never forgive him. Do you want me to actually publicly talk about Star Kids?
Sure.
I'm here and they're there. I think Star Kids is unique and fun and cool, and kudos to people who are into it. It's just not my thing. And that's as negative as I'm going to speak about it into a microphone in front of cameras. I do. I think it's cool and I enjoy it. It's just not my bag, baby. Snape does, you know, Austin Powers. Yes, you hear knitting in the front row.
At one of the sessions earlier, they were talking about a theory where you took polyjuice potion and turned into James and actually Harry's dad.
whoa.
Here's what I think about
Yes.
that.
Greatest day of your life.
Well, I could totally do that. I could have totally done that, and no one would be the wiser. But the truth of the matter is that no matter how much I might have considered that, having excelled at potions at such a really young age and having the one kid who tormented me steal the one thing I loved, one person I loved, I can accept that. No, I never did that. And to have done that, I feel. So, yeah.
Too soon.
Too soon?
Yeah, you're okay.
You.
What was your favorite subject when you were at Hogwarts and why?
I was interested in potions and curses long before I went to Hogwarts, so that I couldn't wait to get to Hogwarts and officially take potions class.
Oh, my goodness.
I was eager for it long before I got there. You're welcome. Yes, sir.
Have you ever taken Felix Felicis, and if so, for what reason?
I have not. See, now I don't have to ask for the second part of it. Anybody else? Questions? We will lose momentum and I'll have, over here.
I'm curious, once you finally became a professor for power cards, were you able to enjoy that position, or what happened with the predecessors? Just kind of
Thanks. No, I was never able to enjoy it. I wanted greatly to have that position early on. Unfortunately, by the time I got it, as you are all well aware, everything was falling apart. And I had to be in the Order, I had to be with the Death Eaters, I had to watch teachers get tortured, I had to be a part of great evil and defend great good and great papers. And walk the halls and never sleep. No, I wasn't able to enjoy it, in as much as I can enjoy anything, really. Yes.
You were on a referee for a Quidditch match during
Yes.
the various years. Were you ever interested in playing Quidditch? Did you ever play Quidditch? Were you good at riding on a broomstick?
I don't need a broomstick. That's true. Look it up. That's true. You don't know this about me. Look it up. I never needed to play Quidditch. I enjoy the game moderately, but I mainly like to watch Hufflepuffs and Gryffindors get injured. And I root for Slytherin, obviously. Slytherin pride. Okay.
Me?
Yeah. Yes, you. Sam. Everybody's Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Yes, you.
When you were a student, oh, sorry.
Oh, I'll get to you next.
No, that's fine.
What does that Hortensia smell like to you?
What does the hortensia smell like to me? To me, specifically, amaretto. She asked. Yes.
When you were a student, did you ever lose points for your house, and what did you do to lose them?
Every student at Hogwarts both gains and loses points for their house. Yes, I lost points for my house, largely because I had a disrespect for authority. And a sense of humor that isn't easily understood by everybody. Sometimes sarcasm isn't appreciated. I'm fluent. Obviously. Welcome to Potions 394. No silly wand waving or incantations in this class. However, for those of you who possess the predisposition, don't make me quote. It's nice smile, see, and it breaks character, and then people go, "What does Snape?" And he just smiled and told jokes the whole time. You know why my Patronus is a doe. Did she just hear what she said? Yeah, don't. Yes, that's more fanon than canon, but since we all know I'm Snape, we know that it's true now, don't we? You have a question? I make the decision here.
Don't lose us house points over there, man.
I was wondering, since the Marauders bullied you during your time in school, why did you decide to help Lupin with the Wolfsbane potion while he was a professor at Hogwarts?
Because he was a professor at Hogwarts. You just answered the question. There's a difference between holding a grudge and being professional. And you can say what you want about me in regards to holding a grudge and being angry and not liking people, but at the end of the day, Neville aside, I'm a fine professor. He's just a little sensitive. She has a question first.
How's your relationship with the other professors, especially McGonagall? I know you guys have kind of like a friendly competition, but given your...
McGonagall and I are cut from a very similar cloth, and she doesn't tolerate nonsense in her class either. She's one of the few professors that I think I can openly say that I fully respect. That's about as close to friendship with me as you're going to get. You, sir?
In what ways did Wormtail change, like before helping out Voldemort and after?
Wow, he's just sitting there looking, yeah, what question will stop? Are you playing Pokemon the whole time? Are you at least winning? I don't know, do I look like I play Pokemon? How many people here imagine Snape at home going, "Gotta collect them all"? Yeah, Peeves 2.0, okay. Or do you have a question? You're just Peeves 2.0, okay. That's a really good question. I'm gonna have to think on that one.
Okay.
Is that acceptable for now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes, you.
What was your relationship with Remus, a friend, not as, you weren't friends, but he wasn't exactly, along with James and Sirius, really. He was sort of neutral between you and
I'm listening, I said.
And the other Marauders, like, he was more neutral, and like, he wasn't really okay with what was going on, but he also didn't really
Do anything, yes. We covered this briefly yesterday, and this is something that I think is young adults and adults who teach young adults, you know. It is a wrong thing to bully somebody. It is an injustice to abuse somebody because you can. But to have the power to change something, to have the power to interfere with something, to put a stop to something, and to stand idly by and watch something makes you equally guilty. So, I mean, yeah, I didn't love him or like him, but I mean, when I think of all the bad things that happened to me, and I picture what's happening, you can't overlook the fact that he stands right there and watches, so there. Yes?
Given your natural talent of potions, why did you want to switch to Defense Against Dark Arts? Was it because you wanted to teach the kids how to protect themselves, knowing what was coming, and you were sick of all these idiots messing them up first? Well, the exception of Lupin. With the exception of Lupin. None of the other Defense Against Dark Arts teachers.
You don't think Gilderoy Lockhart was a great teacher?
He was awesome.
You don't think he taught things the kids needed to know?
He taught them what not
Or
to.
are you an Umbridge fan? Show of hands, Umbridge fans. Wait for it. Show of hands. How many people, when they think of the absolute most evil character in Harry Potter, choose Umbridge over Voldemort?
Umbridge is Dumbridge.
But you have to admit, girlfriend had style.
Here's a phrase that has never come out of my mouth. Girlfriend had style. So there I was talking to Hagrid, and I was like, girlfriend had style. What do you think, Hagrid? Oh no, pink's like the new black. That's like the good as a Hagrid voice somebody to Sorry.
That was like a Marcus Shield.
And back. So no, I find her to be the truly most evil character in the entire series. What are we having a conversation up front here? Okay. Yes, the tiny little non-committed hand raise.
I don't know what she was saying about Patronus at this point here, but has your Patronus always been that?
There is a lot of speculation as to what my Patronus was prior to Lily's demise, and there is no actual recorded documentation of what it was. And since I am Professor Snape, and this is a Q&A, and you have queued, and therefore I am obliged to A. Prior to it becoming a doe, my Patronus was a bat. Said somebody. One person.
It does fit.
It does fit, doesn't it? I will say this. There's a lot of people who say, well, was Snape a vampire? And J.K. Rowling's been very, very specific that I am not. I will also concur with J.K. Rowling because she knows what she's talking about because she had a hand in this. I am not. You have a question? Oh. The vampire theory. Yeah, a lot of people speculate, and there are a lot of things in the books that allude to it, not just the swooping in and everything, but the whole homework revenge assignment thing. So there are a lot of things in the story. Well, yes, I'm one of 3 wizards that can do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you know who the other 2 are?
Voldemort?
Yep. No. Huh? No. No. Does anybody know who the 3rd wizard is? Me, Voldemort. Who's the 3rd wizard that can fly without a broom? No, without transfiguration. Who actually can fly, not apparate, but actually fly without a broom. Anybody know the 3rd one? I'll give you a hint. You want a hint?
Yes.
He was the closest, literally closest person to Voldemort. Quirrell. Yes.
That's clever.
See? Yes.
Who taught you how to fly?
I'm not going to tell you that. Well, that's great. Go to the top of the building. And if I understand Doctor Who correctly, you just believe really hard. And all your problems go away. What?
Real flying, not like Sherlock.
Oh, real flying, not like Sherlock flying.
Oh, too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon.
This is the horrible thing that you've
Aw,
done.
you're giving somebody the feels for Sherlock.
Oh, all the feels.
That's so sad. How was the fake mustache thing? I assume you went. You have a real mustache. You took a fake one anyway.
It's like double stashed.
We won.
You won?
Yeah,
Because the double stash.
Record.
All right, who else has good questions for me, or bad questions for me, or mediocre questions for me?
Before you were so busy with the Order and Voldemort came back, what did you do with your spare time?
What do I do with my spare time?
What spare time?
Graded papers, mastered chess. What did you do?
Read Harry's books.
You read Harry's books. Patrick Paul was on my Christmas list. Okay, I'm going to start you and I'll work my way back up to the writer. Yes. Today it's cotton candy. I don't know who has it here at the convention, but it's, as I said earlier, were you here earlier? I might have procured one while walking. The owner was stationary, the ice cream was not. I don't know where it came from here, but it was delicious. If you can find one of those cotton candy ice cream cones, go get one. They're really good. Normally, by the way, it's mint chocolate chip. Yes, you. Have I ever in my life I can only assume that you hang out with a black family. No, God, I did a panel once and Sirius came in the middle of it, walked right up to the podium, right up to me and went, I have something for you. And he gave me shampoo.
Too soon.
Here's a question. How did you not die? Did you use like anti-venom and that's what you use on Malfoy?
Honey badger potion.
Right?
Honey badger anti-venom. For those of you who want to know the answer to the question, with the exception of Sam, who clearly knows and has access to how it should have ended.
Yes. Oh, I was just thinking about that.
Okay, this is the thing I'm going to say, and for those of you who are slightly older, this will make a little bit more sense, but old school, old classic James Bond movies, this is how they go. Mr. Bond, I'm going to put you with a slow device that will eventually kill you. I'm going to go over here and do whatever it is I do, and I'm just going to assume that this slow, incredibly arduous, complicated death thing I put you in will eventually kill you. I have every confidence. I don't need to see it. I'm just going to leave and drive off and whatever it is I do for evil. And then Bond, of course, never dies. He goes, oh, look, the off switch. And then he leaves. And basically, this is how it happened. You know, I'm down on the ground, I'm bleeding. Just picture it. And then the tear, and take them. And then he takes them, and then they run off. And I'm just wounded. You didn't have to go, I just said that. Mary, Ron, clever girl. Fine, I will just help myself, like I always do. For those of you who read the books and saw the movies, what was the first thing that I talked about in class? Brew glory, bottle fame, and even
the stopper in death.
Why would I say that if I couldn't do it?
Right.
Done. I will only drop the bass 394 times. If Aaron's in the room, he's probably like, he's gonna keep dropping my damn mics. Sorry for the unspeakable curse word, little person.
Snape.
Snape. Severus Snape. Dumbledore. Severus Snape. Dumbledore. Severus Snape. Dumbledore. Severus Snape. Dumbledore. Severus Snape. Snape. Severus Snape. Dumbledore. Snape. Severus Snape. Dumbledore. Snape. Severus Snape.
I really need a Harry Potter to jump up.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. You gotta like gyrate like this. No, you don't.
We did. Thank you. Thank you so much. Give yourself a round of applause. That was fantastic, minus the absence of the chosen one who couldn't be bothered to show up to make the end of that really funny.
He's watching Star Kids.
He's watching Star Kids. Harry Potter is a Star Kid fan.
Well, you know.
The rest of you are Snape fans. I have no idea what the time is. What's the time?
5:45?
I don't know. Does it matter to you?
No. They're there for 2 hours.
I'm gonna be the chair eventually. I'm gonna start making my rounds and know everybody by name.
How's your Coke?
My Coca-Cola is delicious. Thank you for asking. That is the best Coca-Cola product ever. All right. Yes.
Did you have a pet when you were at Hogwarts?
Did I have a pet when I was at Hogwarts? Boy.
There's never one mentioned. So.
There is never one mentioned. That's a fine question. I'm honestly very tempted to say no, and I have to think about that. Regrettably, I hate to stifle the illusion, I'm going to say no. Now, for those of you who may know, I'm on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and everything. I am Vladimir Snape. And on Vladimir Snape's Facebook account, I actually wrote one fanfic. Now, I don't read fanfic, and a whole lot of fanfic creeps me out. A lot.
Carol.
They tend to put me with people I don't want to be with in ways I don't want to be. I was very clear in the books and in the movies about my status and my role and how I conducted myself, and lots of people like to write me differently. And they write me talking like a girl. I just can't wait to tell you my feelings. I have been stifled for 7 books and 8 movies. I had all of these feelings bottled up inside of me, and I really want to talk to you about them. And they do. Fanfic writers write Snape like that. Most of them, and I'm sorry for anybody who's in the room that may or may not be a fanfic writer. One second. I wrote one fanfic. It's about a friendship that happens between Moaning Myrtle and Professor Snape that happens within the confines of the Harry Potter universe and the books. It is a friendship and nothing else. There's nothing bad about it.
It's really well written.
Thank you. I think it's really well written too. And in that fanfic, to answer, to hinge off your question, in that fanfic, I tell Moaning Myrtle that when everything goes the way that I know it's going to go, and in so many very brief words, to promise to do one thing for me. And she says what? And I tell her to take care of my cat. And I tell her that I have a cat, and everything happens, and the end of the movie happens. And at the end of my fanfic story, Moaning Myrtle goes off looking for my cat, who I do give a name, but I don't describe. My cat's name is Albatross. So let me, you had another one? No? She had one, I'm just gonna leapfrog you this girl in a second.
Why do you always wear the same clothes?
Why did you wear a sports outfit to an indoor convention to ask me questions when clearly you're not having a match today?
Not even like silver colors. I mean, I never see that.
No house pride.
I have so much house. I am house pride. I am Slytherin. I am so safe, and I am Slytherin. I don't have to wear green to show house pride. It's my house. It's my party. I'll die if I want to. So sorry. Question?
How do you feel about Snape and Lily fanfics?
How do I feel about Snape and Lily?
Fanfiction.
I don't know, Lily. How do I feel about Snape and Lily fanfiction? She's all for it. I came to the con with Lily.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about. I don't read it. To be honest with you, I really don't read a lot of. I almost read none fan fiction. I'm glad it exists. I'm glad that J.K. Rowling has inspired young writers and older writers and all writers to be creative and forward their thoughts and their feelings and their possibilities of the universe. I think it's brilliant. I just don't really read it. Did I skip over somebody in the back before I came back down? Okay, you with your feet up on the chair like you're comfortable. Because you are.
I know you're skilled in occupancy, so what am I thinking about?
I can't hear that. Why would you want me to say that? I am so not doing that. For shame.
Nancy is preventing it.
I'm never going to get that out of my mind now. Yes.
Did you know Dumbledore is gay, and even though you're not into that lifestyle, what are your opinions on it?
Yes, and it doesn't bother me. People are what they are, and you can't be what you aren't. And to force somebody or to convince somebody to be of a predisposition purely because you think they should is... I usually talk about this when I talk about spirituality, and I'm trying to find the right way to phrase it. I'm going to use an R word, and I apologize to anybody else if it offends you, but there really isn't a better word for it. To force somebody to be a belief or a personal lifestyle or something that you aren't is akin to some sort of a mental or spiritual rape. It really is awful. You can't force someone to be what you want them to be purely because you want them to. Faith is a beautiful thing, and how you see it is a beautiful thing, and sexuality and everything else is wonderful, and how you experience it is wonderful, but you can't force your opinion onto someone else. You just can't. Anybody who tells you, and here's another thing, while we're on that subject, because I feel very strongly about something, and I'm going to say it, and I'm sorry if I have to bring it up in a place like this, but if your faith brings you hatred, if your faith brings you prejudice or animosity or ill will, if your personal beliefs bring you anger and resentment, you're doing it wrong. And that just isn't magical. Anybody else? Let me bring it back down a notch before I start making people cry.
Did you ever go confront your father as an adult after you,
No.
became magical?
No, I don't know who my father is currently. Thanks for bringing that up, though. It really makes me feel happy.
Winning.
Yes.
Well, while you were all students at Hogwarts, were you and the other Slytherins aware that Andromeda Blackford started a relationship with Ted Tonks, or did she wait until afterwards and she concealed that while at school?
She mainly concealed that. I wasn't fully aware of it told her.
Okay.
Let me get over here first, and then I'll bounce back to this side of the room.
What's your favorite book?
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
Yes! Favorite movie?
Galaxy Quest. And Sense and Sensibility. And Blow Dry. And Die Hard.
Awfully Big Adventure?
And Perfume.
Awfully Big Adventure?
What about Bottle Shock?
And Love Actually, Bottle Shock. There's so many good movies that are being made out there. I mean, just Dark Harbor. I know, but it up. I'm going down my IMDb. I'm going down someone else's IMDb, actually. That moment when you realize you're not who they think you are. By Grabthar's wand.
What a
You shall be
Avenged.
Yes.
Do you actually care about anybody else's relationship? I mean, it doesn't involve you. I get curious about that.
The honest answer is no, not really. And here's why. It's not because I'm an uncaring person. I have a lot on my mind, most of which is concealing my mind from one of the greatest wizards of all time and all of his followers. Somebody asked me earlier, well, why didn't you show Harry just a little kindness? Bless you. Things you didn't think you'd see today. Why didn't you show Harry a little kindness? I mean, come on, you could have given him a pat on the back, could have given him a Vataboy, could have given him a Pokemon game, could have done something for him. Why didn't you just do one nice thing for him? Because if I had done one nice thing for him, the moment that Voldemort got inside of Harry's head, he would have seen it. So not one nice thing could I do, no matter how badly I might have wanted to, if I wanted to, which we all know I didn't.
Except for saving his life.
Except for the one incredibly huge thing, yes, saving his entire life.
Well, the Professor Pearl.
Yes.
You could argue that you had to do that because Dumbledore would know you were a double agent if you didn't.
Dumbledore knew that I had to do many great things and witness many horrible, horrible things firsthand. He knew.
Dark Lord, that you only did that because of Dumbledore.
Well, yeah,
So you could justify to him.
I could. I have to visually look more like a Death Eater than not. But I wear black because it's slimming.
When you were sorted, were you immediately put into Slytherin, or was there some debate and you almost ended up like
You know, I saw cosplay Snape earlier, which I think is what muggles call it, people dress up like me. But I saw a cosplay Snape earlier that had a Hufflepuff tie on, and he was dressed like a student. And all I could think is, I've got to find a guy with a blue box. I've got to go back in time. I've got to stop this. Because this is a travesty. I was sort of directly in. You know how like when the hat goes over some people and it barely hits their head? Gryffindor, Slytherin, you know, and basically that was me. I knew exactly where I wanted to be, and of course they had, you know, takes your us into consideration. Which, by the way, is what I tell everybody when they go, Pottermore Pottermore sorted me into a house I didn't want to belong to. No, Pottermore didn't sort you into a house you didn't belong to. You chose a house you truly are. The hat listens to you. And if you answer questions on purpose so that you can be in the right house, you're not cheating, you're using your free will.
Okay, so why did you want to be in Slytherin when you were a child?
Because it's the best house.
Ow!
Because I come from a dark and eerily creepy disposition. Because I favored curses at the age of 7. Trevor.
Is that Neville's toad?
Trevor. My, how you've grown. I know a young boy that's looking for you. Which is creepy if you take that out of context. Also, what's creepy if you take out of context, God, I really hate the blacks. Outside of this universe, that's really wrong. Don't ever say it. I'm friends with people who pretend to be serious.
Seriously?
Severously. Yes.
What's your favorite unforgivable curse
I have lots of favorite curses, but I don't have a favorite unforgivable one, because they're unforgivable. And I know you all are going to be evil and bad, but we all know that no matter how unpleasant and condescending and sarcastic and mean and hateful and misunderstood I am, that beneath it all I'm
I
So
refuse
no.
to believe that.
Yes.
Let's see if I can ask you this and film you at the same time. Professor, have you ever been to Latvia?
Have I ever been to Latvia? The amazing thing about Latvia is that they got converted to a religion based on a fruit cocktail, which is a bizarre thing, largely because they're all 5'12".
Oh, I thought they were.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. You're saying, isn't that like 6 feet? But no, it's metric, so it's different.
They must have grown because I heard they were 4'12".
They were 4'12" before the great earthquake, but then the genes got messed up and it altered everything. It's a long and tragic story that I can't get into right now, but I'm sure if you find me somewhere around February, I'll clear that up for you. It's an inside joke for like 3 people. You have so many questions. This is like the panel for you and me and the girl who's playing Angry Birds and Pokemon and Sam here. He's at least, I mean, I guess you can only win a Pokemon. I found that out earlier. Yes, you. I am.
When Lily was sorted in Gryffindor before you to turn into King,
Yes.
consider trying to go
No.
to followers? No.
I didn't consider changing houses for Lily. My love had not reached its zenith at that point, but even if it had, I know what house I belong in, and sadly, no matter how much I love her, I know what house she belongs in. I had hoped so, but some little prat put an end to that, didn't he? Thanks for bringing it up, though, because that always makes me feel good.
Maybe you would cry. Too soon. Always too soon.
Always.
Always. Too soon.
Oh, does she? She has a question. Is she embarrassed? Is she scared? Oh, so she wants you to ask. Okay. That's a very good question. What did originally attract me to Lily? At LeakyCon in Chicago last year, look, they don't want to hear the love story. They're like, you know, now we just thought about love. God.
Is this
Get
a
over it,
kissing
Snape. We're
story?
leaving. Taking her Hufflepuff self right out of here. I know, the Hufflepuffs always leave early because
They're Hufflepuffs.
what originally attracted me to Lily? That's a great question, and I'm going to answer it. You're welcome. The great thing about Lily is her magic comes from a very special place, and her innate sense of love. You're talking about somebody who made me want to be something other than what I was, who made James into a loving father instead of being just a snotty school jockey, and who, as Slughorn said, had some of the most beautiful magic he'd ever seen. This is somebody who was just, her heart was pure, her love was pure, and regrettably I lost it. But what made me fall in love with her was that, the actual deep sense of honest love that she just naturally emitted.
And you knew that because you were walking through the bushes?
Yes. Like you do. Yes. Are there TV shows from my Muggle childhood? Games? I didn't play a lot of games. I had a very lonely childhood. My parents were, what was the word, neglectful? TV, on the other hand, yeah, I suppose I liked TV as a kid, but you know, I mean,
Scooby-Doo.
you grow, I love Scooby-Doo. Classic Scooby-Doo, not this newfangled stuff. I just stole some big stuff. Yeah, I like classic Hammer horror films, actually. If you don't know what a Hammer horror film is, look them up. They star a guy, Christopher Lee, and they're phenomenal. And here's the really cool thing for all of you people who like the Harry Potter thing, and I think there's a few of you in here. When Daniel Radcliffe went on to make his first horror movie, it was made by Hammer.
Awesome.
Yeah, Woman in Black is a Hammer horror film. So go and look up old classic Hammer. They're brilliant movies. Yes.
If Harry knew you were still alive, would you try to like start a relationship, like a friendship with him after?
This question's been brought up. Yeah, this question's been brought up a few times, and somebody even went so far as to say, well, now that Sirius is gone, if Harry found out that I was still alive, would I consider being a godparent or godfather to him? And I can answer this question. The answer is yes, but it would never be the nurturing, loving relationship that Sirius would have had with him. It would never be the compassionate relationship that Sirius would have had. And I would still be strict and me. Hang on. I think I got it down. I did this earlier. Hang on. It's a smile. Am I any better?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good, because I've been working on that all weekend. Yes, there would be a relationship, but it wouldn't be the fuzzy, warm one. This is where the Hufflepuffs live. This is where the Hufflepuffs live. This is where the Hufflepuffs live, everybody. This is where the Hufflepuffs live. There you go. This is where the Hufflepuffs live. Goodbye. This is where the Hufflepuffs live. And Ravenclaw. I can get you guys to sing anything, can't I? I just had a really bad mental image. I have to cleanse my head.
Your wine's on the table.
I'm not Tim Minchin. I just can't do this.
Your wine's on the table, sir.
That's what she said.
I know how to do that. Later, somebody's going to be walking down the hallway going, this is where the Hufflepuffs live. Who taught you that? Snape taught me that. It's the happiest he ever sounded.
Don't worry, it's on YouTube.
Yes, you.
It will be.
So it's been several years since the time of the Harry Potter series. Technology has advanced and been included in Muslim schools. Do you think technology would have a place in Hogwarts? Number 12.
You wrote down questions. Oh my dear God.
Challenge me.
Latvia, number 11. That's just disgusting, number 13. Yes, but in crayon, number 14. Slytherin, number 7. No, number 6. Oh my God, if people write these down that come to you later, they'd all know these. Are you taping this? Because then you can find him and be like, no to number 2, but I thought about it.
What?
Oh, I know, this is just mean, isn't it? This is like more cruel than actually answering things. Several years since the time of Harry Potter, technology has advanced and included in rival schools. Do you think technology would have had a place in Hogwarts? I don't think it's necessary. I think we all know that it exists and they all have exposure to it outside of Hogwarts. The premise of Hogwarts isn't to learn how to social network, Skype, or play Pokemon in the front row of the Professor Snape class. The purpose of technology is outside of Hogwarts. So, no, it doesn't have a place in Hogwarts, to answer your question. To answer one of those questions, do you send your robes out for dry cleaning?
What about the house elves?
See, this is why we do my vlogs, then I break. I don't smile. I smile when people die. And I smile when I watch the movie and they cut that snake in half. Yeah, that's a good scene. Even though Neville did it, doesn't matter who did it, and, but it's Nagini. I smile when Nagini dies, like this. Wait. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm got my back to like half these people, like, what's he doing? Okay, wait. I've never felt more like Wednesday Addams than I do.
Awesome. was number 2?
Oh, yes. Yes to number 10. Yes. Yes to number 10.
Number 10. What's number 2?
What was number 2?
Everybody's going to chase this person out of the room. Give me the book.
You're going to die.
I'm going to light this on fire now. Yes, I know the spell. Oh, do I wear all black as a reflection of my personality or because it hides stains a lot better than other colors? See, that's both sensitive and insensitive.
Well, you know, brewing potions.
I wear all black because it makes matching my wardrobe easy. I open my closet and I go, nailed it. What is underneath your robes, Professor? More robes. When I take this off, this is not under it. When I take that off, it's this still. That's what it looks like. Had it been under better conditions and less forced, it wasn't forced, I self-promoted. If it had been under better conditions, would you have liked to have been headmaster at some point during your teaching career? Yes, I would have. I was, but it was under not great conditions. If it were under better conditions, would I have been? Yes, I would have. But that's a different movie with a different ending, and you know how that goes. That's just gross, I'm not answering that. You shared your book with somebody. Yeah, now that I think about it, hang on. Mr. Weasley was saved by the many witches and wizards after he, underlined, after he was bitten. Are you pissed? It actually says this. I'm not speaking ill just to offend your child. Were you pissed that this effort wasn't made for you? Obviously. Or were you relieved to be free from having to try and please two different sides? Or are you even dead?
Like 3 questions.
That is really 3 questions. Thank you. Everybody, Sam can count to 3.
You went to public
I
school.
like you. I dig the mohawk. You seriously need to rethink the length of your sideburns.
Yeah, I know. They definitely do.
Okay.
I noticed that last night.
Thank you. Have I ever tried Voodoo donuts? I had those for breakfast this morning. Not kidding. Lily can agree to this. What do we have for breakfast this morning, Lily? Voodoo donuts. What? Here's Lily. Lily, what was your favorite donut this morning?
Mango Tango.
Mango Tango was your favorite donut.
How long did you have to wait in line?
Do I recommend them? Yes, I do. It's worth the wait. It really is.
So good.
Bring cash, worth the wait, smells good. You're going to buy more than one. Just be prepared. They're delicious.
They bring boxes of them.
They're delicious, absolutely. I think that answers all these persons' questions that I'm going to answer out loud.
Number 2. Number 2.
What 10? What was 10? I already answered 10. Yes.
What's 2?
I'm not answering.
What was number 2?
I answered 11. I said Latvia or Prague. Wait for it, wait. Shh. So not answering those other questions. Don't do that, Mike.
Oh, God damn it.
See, now, run!
Oh, you left something.
Okay. I made somebody snort. In front of a room almost full of some people.
Giggle snort for the win.
Almost kind of sort of full. Yes.
This morning you said that the book
For that?
When the Marauders flip them upside down.
We don't have to talk about it.
But that was 20
We
years
don't
ago.
have to talk about it.
You haven't calmed down, Snivelus. Right?
You know,
she's wearing secret socks. That's a lie.
Oh, you are a Gryffindor. 20 points from Gryffindor.
She's Slytherin. The socks are a lie.
For your cheek.
Sorry.
Which is kind of like, English for lip in America.
So you have one pair of boxer shorts that are...
I'm not discussing the numerous pairs of things I own.
That doesn't make... I'm sure it is.
It's okay. You can go. Goodbye, Sam's friend. This is where the Slytherins live. This is where the Slytherins live. That's really sad, but this is where the Slytherins live. Like a Hufflepuff. This is where the Slytherins live. And Ravenclaw. Oh, she's just going to the bathroom. It's not me, it's your friend. You should have left your robe here. You shouldn't drag that over the bathroom floor. That's just, okay, yeah, hold the robe up. You're gonna tell me what time it is, so you're gonna get eerily close to me. I have 15 minutes left, till 6 o'clock. Oh, they actually told me just to do this for an hour. Y'all could have sodded off 15 minutes ago. All right, who wants to hear me for like another 15 minutes and then go and get ready for the ball? All right, who wants to leave now like a Hufflepuff? Yeah. All right, you got me for 15 more minutes of questions, sarcasm, and being abusive to the Gryffindor in the front row. Yes, sir.
Who's your doctor?
Incognito, so I'm getting house tags taken away from different houses.
Now, I'm going to answer this. And I'm going to say an additional word which is going to probably make me lose half of this audience. The uncool half. My favorite doctor, based on appearance alone, is the 8th. My favorite doctor based on writing, charisma, style, awesomosity, the 10th Doctor. 9 was also good, but 10 and 10, really where it comes down to, if you have to tell somebody that something is cool over and over and over again, it just isn't. And you need attention, you cupcake little brat. The 11th Doctor is a brat. He's a cupcake. When David, does anybody have a sonic screwdriver? Not one sonic, give me a sonic screwdriver. Well, what do you think? The 10th. Oh, you lost your little nub. I know, you lost your little nub. That's what you lost your little nub means. I know it's a pen, I have one.
I'm sure you do. Why do you need that one?
It makes you successful. Oh, no, it doesn't.
That's mildly impressive, isn't it?
Is that a bug there?
10 is awesome. When David Tennant, when the 10th Doctor threatens you with the powers of the universe, the Shadow Proclamation, and he holds and he's out. You feel it. When Tennant gets angry, you feel it. When 11 gets angry, you want to give him a noogie and send him on his way. Crazy little Matt Smith. Crazy little Matt Smith, get out of here. Yeah, I don't like Matt Smith. I think he's a cupcake. I think anytime that you're the main character in something and the lesser characters are more cool and well written and interesting and intriguing than you are, and the show is named after you, that you're made to fail. And the pawns were interesting, they were cool, and Rory, who started off kind of being a dink, became awesome. And Amy, Amelia, who became awesome, and everybody else is awesome, and Matt Smith is just not.
Are you saying that because that parallels Harry Potter, how you're so much cooler than Harry Potter, and the books were about him?
Are you saying that I'm cooler than Harry Potter?
Yeah.
What's your house?
Slytherin.
Of course it is. and paying no special attention whatsoever, 50 points to Slytherin. were the bathrooms? Were they flooded? How's Myrtle? She's all right? She misses me. How's Albatross?
Too soon.
Good.
Too soon.
It really is my Vladimir Snape Facebook page. Go look it up. It's a very short but good story. Yes, you in the third row.
Since you were an outstanding potion student back in Hogwarts, did Slughorn ever invite you to join the Slug Club?
Yes, of course. Well, I'm glad for that in-depth answer. You have another one, I know, because every time there's a pause, you have like either that, or you've got like some social disorder, and then one hand just keeps going up in the air. Both. Your friend went to the bathroom, and came back with clever retorts against you.
Since you didn't die, how did you like magic Hogwarts to get the poster of you in the Headmaster office?
Oh, that's easy. That's an easy thing. Since I did, good question, I'll get to you next. Good question. Since I didn't die, how is there a poster of me? Because, be prepared for my amazingly well thought out answer. Because, when I killed Dumbledore, a fraction of myself became a horcrux, and it ended up being in the painting. And that's how come the painting has a fraction of myself in it. You thought see, they thought I was unprepared for that one.
That was a wig.
Clever, huh? Because I knew I had to do it. I knew he had to die. I knew where it had to happen. I knew everything. See? Not everything, but a lot. Well, it is Horcrux hard. I mean, you know, it's difficult. Just because something's complicated doesn't mean it's impossible. It means it's complicated. That's why they call it that. Yes?
Besides the 6th book, did you ever try to be more of like a positive influence in Draco's life?
Besides the 6th book, did I ever try to be more of a positive influence in Draco's life? To a degree. I mean, you know, I don't have the close relationship with Draco that a lot of people think I do, and I certainly don't have the relationship with Draco that other fanfic writers think.
That's what you
don't
think.
Read that stuff, sir. That is really, really scary stuff. Never has the word drapery bothered me as much as it has in the last couple years. Not in the way that people would want me to know. Yes?
If you could have an unlimited supply of any potion, what would it be? And second, make fun of my amazingly mohawk color.
I have found Sam's sister, haven't I? Ladies and gentlemen, Sam's sister. And the truth be told, I love picking on your brother, but I've seen him at 2 or 3 other cons, and I thoroughly enjoy interacting with him. He's actually a fine fellow. And as much as I know, I don't really know, but I'm going to start with any small smitten of ingredients. I can procure nearly any potion. So I don't really worry too much, but if I had to give you one answer, what would be the one potion I would want in unlimited amounts? Honey Badger anti-venom. No, don't leave home without it. Yes?
Do you miss teaching?
Too soon.
Retired.
Too soon.
I miss teaching. Teaching was a secondary job, or a secondary position. It's probably why I wasn't a more enthusiastic or giving teacher, because I was so busy, as I said earlier, you know, keeping the boys safe, hiding the lies, seeing the truth, seeing the death, saving a teacher, killing a teacher, grading papers, walking in the halls, never changing my outfit, not going to the ball, dressed in anything different. And now you want to know if I miss teaching. Not so much. No. Somebody's stepping on a cat. Not mine. No. Yes, you.
Given the opportunity, which country would you travel to?
Oh, he answered that one.
Wherever that kid's going, that's just happening. I want to go to a place makes go, given the opportunity, I would really like to see Germany, Prague. I talk about Latvia a lot, actually. I would like to live, if I could, anywhere. I would live in Bath. I would live in the UK. That's my druthers. If you're going to ask number 2, I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to make you snort again now.
Okay.
Snort.
Okay, no. If you were going to go someplace warm, would you still wear that?
I have gone someplace warm, and sadly I still wear this. It's called LeakyCon in Orlando in July. I have a great idea. Let's have a con where everybody wears robes and long sleeve shirts and ties. And then let's put them in Florida in July. Oh, JK, you're clearly not an American. I taught my son a mantra. For those who don't know, Vladimir Snape has a son. Snape doesn't. I know. Don't get fandom and reality confused. I see the Gryffindors going. But I taught him a mantra, which I think is very important for all of you to learn, which is this: it is English, and therefore it is intrinsically better. Harry Potter, Doctor Who. Sherlock. Duran. You know, so there's my 2 cents on that. Any more questions? 5 minutes. 5 minutes, says the lovely Lily in the front row. Okay, 5 minutes. You can go, Peeps. He's like, yeah, I'm out of here at 5. Yes?
Is your son name is Harry?
No, it isn't. My son's name is Matthew. And for those of you who want an awe moment, Matthew and his wife just had a baby 3 weeks ago, which means that I am now a grandfather. Yeah, congratulations, someone that I gave birth to gave birth, you know. Yay me.
You gave birth?
I didn't give birth, but you know, she couldn't have done it without me. It is a 2-person adventure. Don't confuse the really young person in the audience who thinks you only need one. But my grandson's name, and I think you need to know this because it's really, really super cool. My grandson's name is Stonewall. And his middle name is Animaeus.
Wow.
Stonewall Animaeus. And he's growing up in southern Indiana where they embrace difference. With open minds, arms, in Redneck County Central.
America.
Yeah, America. I almost said FYA, and I had to realize I'm at an all-age convention. I shouldn't do that. All right, so one more question, and then I'm gonna wrap this up and not sing for the girl who's leaving now. We don't know what house she belongs to. We'll just assume she's a Hufflepuff.
She's got a Marauder shirt on.
Ravenclaw and Ravenclaw. Yes.
Oh, okay. So we've seen inside of the teachers' offices a lot, but never seen inside like where they sleep and stuff. So I was wondering if you could describe your like quarters at Hogwarts when you were there.
It's a fine question. Small, cramped, lots and lots of books, potion vials, bottles, one chess set made completely of black and actually, yes, made completely of black and bloodstone. If you don't know what bloodstone is, look it up. It's a beautiful material. Thank you. The bed is long for obvious reasons. I hate short beds and small bathtubs. Hotels are evil. I'm sure most of you are like, cool, a really hot shower that doesn't stop. And I'm like, I'd like to sit down and stretch out, and this is never gonna happen. I'm so comfortable.
I'm right there with you.
Yes, I mean, unfortunately, my shower head is actually high enough that I can get under it, but it's just, and I keep the room at like 62 degrees. I have 18 robes on right now. When you take your robe off, it's under it. 15 more robes. My bedroom is very dark, and I have a key tree, which is, for all those who don't know, it's a wired tree with lots of keys hanging on it, skeleton keys mainly. And it's very lovely. I like it. I don't really put pictures of it up, but you know, I don't like to share that privately in case you haven't noticed.
Any surprise you need?
Well, you know, it's a Q&A. You queued, I ate.
Okay.
Yes. What I sing at the ball? Are they doing karaoke? I mean, if they did karaoke, I would consider it. If you look up on YouTube, Snape karaoke, you're going to find a lot of people doing it. And if you look, you'll find me. Because I have indeed sang karaoke. Does anybody here know that in addition to being Snape, I also sang?
Yeah.
Yes. Somebody has my CD, look at that. Yes. Raising the Roof. 1996 over there.
Pop up the jams.
Yeah. Oh, up the jam.
Oh my Jesus.
Things you didn't think you'd see.
Oh my Jesus.
Hashtag Nigel, Snape just hip-hopped.
Hashtag.
I like to hashtag a lot of things. I hashtag Snigel all the time. Snigel. That's me and me, in case you don't know. All right, are we good? Is that one? Anybody want one big, last, final, awesome? Yes.
Does Snape dance? Say if I ran into Snape at the ball this evening.
Say, does Snape dance? I occasionally dance. I have been known to boogie woogie, to cut a rug, to get down, to shuffle.
With your bad self.
What? 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 Can you demonstrate? Well, then how am I going to do it? You demonstrate and I'll do it. Oh, there goes that. See, you had a shot.
Come on, shake it. I got you.
You had a shot. You had a shot. You blew it.
Oh, dude, you know how to do it, don't you? Just get up and do it.
I don't know how to do it.
See, look at that. This will go down as you get so close to making Snape dance silly, and you look at everybody. Look at it. You blew it.
I've never done it.
Oh God. So you didn't video that?
My life is complete.
Is your life complete now?
Yes.
All right. I think that's gonna wrap it up now. I don't think we can sink any lower than that. Thank you all for sticking around and making this worthwhile. Enjoy the rest of your convention. If you want photos, real quick. Sorry. Real quick. One, if you want photos, I'm going to stand outside and do photos, or we can do photos in here. I don't think anybody cares at this point. Two, Vladimir Snape on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, Doctor Who, and Firefly, I have a video combining all three fandoms on YouTube. Look it up. It's awesome. All right, I'm going to stand up front and take photos, and you guys can photo with me or go home or go dance.
Okay.
Good night.